Hey guys, welcome to the basement. Welcome to a special edition. Yes, Smitty the Silver Bear will have his blindfold removed. We will do that at the end of the live stream. I'm going to move him down here for a second so I don't knock him off the table. We don't want to mess with him. It's his special day, but there are so many big, major stories developing in the world of precious metals right now. We are in historic times and we're doing it together. We're getting a report that banks are making it hard for people to wire money to buy silver and gold. We're going to look at that. We have a top analyst now, a respected top analyst, telling us $500 silver is possible in the very near future. And we want to learn why. We're going to look at that. Big news out of China, big news out of India, big news everywhere. The biggest news is you decided to join me down here in the basement. Thank you for doing that. It's been a great ride together so far. We will continue together. And a good way to do that is to please subscribe, hit that subscribe button, give the video a thumbs up, turn on the bell notifications, leave a comment in the comment section. That's how we learn, is from each other and with each other. And super chats are never, ever expected, please. But always super appreciated. So let's get started. And again, old Smitty, and there's a little surprise underneath that blindfold. Old Smitty is going to get his silver blindfold off at the end of the show because yes, indeed, we did close on the spot price in silver on Friday over $85. You know what? Let's go take a look at that first. And then we've got a ton of things to look at here. But here we go, guys. Hold on one second. Yep, we are, yes, we are on the spot price of silver at Kitco. And as you can clearly see, unbelievable. The weekly price, I'll circle it for you, closed at $90 per ounce. Please, please don't forget that 1 year ago, right now, we were down here in the basement and we were talking about $30 an ounce. I made a bold prediction back in November of last year that we could get $65 silver by April Fool's Day. Obviously, I was wrong. No April Fool's joke with that one, but let's talk about all these reasons and examples why we can continue, and then we'll take care of Smitty. Let's start with China, because the news and the data that we're getting out of China is truly astounding. Here's a simple chart from the Happy Hawaiian, who compares silver in China. The red line remains over $101 and represents a $10 premium to the United States price, which is the green line. Don't you worry, we're going to look at it here soon. An extra bid under Western metal will continue as long as that arbitrage exists. And arbitrage basically means a difference in price in the same asset between two markets that allows people to buy it in one market and sell it in another. So in this case, what that would mean is these big fancy traders will buy silver in the United States or in the West and sell it in China for $10 more per ounce. That's a simple explanation of arbitrage. But look at this chart again. The red line represents the silver price in China. The green line in the United States. They both are going up, but guys, what we're getting out of China is absolutely incredible. Let's look at the retail price of silver in China right now. We go to Eric Young, King Kong 9888. He's a great source of information, accurate information from the ground in China. And if you're a retail customer in China, this is what he has to say. Legitimate mainland China physical silver retails are now quoting physical silver prices with the 13% VAT, value added tax included, at $119.59. So what we're seeing, and then if we go down here, he points out that today in Shanghai, here's our update from the Shanghai Gold Exchange. Silver precious metal benchmark price without the value-added tax was at $100.09. The price of silver in China, who is becoming the source of price discovery, is still significantly higher than what we had in the United States. And what does it mean? We're going to shift gears here for a second. That what has gone on in the silver market has befuddled even the top analyst out there. Daniel Golly from TD Securities, right? He's a guy who's I've got a lot of respect for. Got burnt again on trying to short silver. What is that telling us? Let's read about what happened to Mr. Golly and TD Securities, because they tried to short silver again, and there's a big reason why. We're gonna look at this. We do not want to celebrate in his losses, but TD Securities takes. Hold on here. There we go. Now we're on the right screen. TD Securities from Niels Christensen at Kitco. TD Securities takes a second hit on a silver short. They tried to short silver a while back. They took a huge loss. They tried again, and wait till you hear the details of this, because this time they only lost $606,000. Paper money, right? It says blue. In a note Wednesday, 1 week after initiating its silver short trade, commodity analyst at TD Securities said they exited the position with a, in orange, $606K loss. TD entered its short position at 78 an ounce, and within 1 week, silver prices surged more than 19%. In green, in the initial trade note last week, Daniel Golly, who I have a ton of respect for, right? Senior commodity strategist at TD, said the bank was looking for downside momentum in silver prices to pick up, as annual index rebalancing was expected to push $5 billion out of the marketplace, which it did, right? That's the Bloomberg Commodity Index rebalancing. The price of silver had gone up so much that the institutions were going to have to sell silver so that the representation of silver in this index would come down to an appropriate level. They did sell all that silver, but in yellow. However, in his latest note, Golly said index rebalancing has been well absorbed by the marketplace. So what is that telling us, right? One of the biggest potential events, even that guy, Stephen Van Meter, put out a big video. Silver's going to crash. And he's another highly respected analyst out there, right? TD Securities puts their money where their mouth is and bets against silver. Silver stands strong, but wait, there's more, because not only that, but we also had the COMEX, the CME group, raise margins during this period, and silver remained strong. Sure, we're not at all-time highs, but guys, we are at $90 per ounce. And for those of you just joining me, we will take the blindfold off the silver bear, old Smitty, who's been blindfolded for years, and we said we would take the blindfold off when silver hit $85, which indeed it has. What about potential breakouts? Let's take a look at this, okay? This is great. This is actually exciting for the week coming up. But before we do that, I do need and want to say thank you to channel sponsor First Mint for sponsoring Ron's Basement. Silver Specialist Mint in Las Vegas, Nevada, owned by First Majestic Silver. The silver's mined in Mexico, goes to Las Vegas. They create world-class silver bullion products like this, right? 1 ounce silver round. You know, it's my favorite. I love it. Look at the light. When the light hits it, it is just absolutely stunning. Okay. And they get shipped directly to you, from the mine to the mint to you. I don't know of any other retail bullion supplier that can say that, right? Literally, this is the freshest silver that you can get your paws on. From the mine to the mint to you, free shipping on orders over $299. Check them out at firstmint.com. I'll show you their website for just a few seconds, and then we are going to go back to make sure I've got the right screen. There we go. Yep, we're going to look at a chart that is super exciting. There it is right there, firstmint.com. And if you go to their store, you can see they have bars, rounds, and other products that are available to you, directly to you, from the mine to the mint to you. And what is this telling us? This is easy to understand from Gold Silver HQ. Silver coiling for a breakout, $100. We're going to talk about $500 silver from the top analyst out there in a little bit, and actually listen to him for 60 seconds as he explains why. But this is showing us 100 possibly coming. That was Friday or Monday. And what they are pointing out is that here on a short-term chart of silver, as you can see in yellow, we are in a wedge pattern. And as far as I can tell, we are still in that. That will resolve one way or the other, okay? Up or down. Now, remember, guys, anything can happen. I think it's going up, and I believe it's going up, and I believe we are going to see $300, $400, $500 silver, but we can have some volatility. But the way a wedge pattern works is, right, eventually the price, right, as time goes on, this is time heading this way, that's the price. Eventually, because it comes to a point, it's either going to go up on that green arrow or down on the red. We'll see what happens tomorrow night when the silver market opens. It is going to be absolutely crazy. The smart silver stacker. Let's talk about a squeeze. You know what? Let's talk about a silver squeeze. Remember that word, silver squeeze? We have not had a silver squeeze yet. We've had a prolonged market driven by physical demand. No doubt about it. Okay. As for fun, we like to say down here in the basement, we've had a silver squeeze, okay, over a long period of time, but not a squeeze. Maybe a micro squeeze, maybe a semi squeeze. I don't know, but not a silver squeeze. We could, and at this point, if we saw a squeeze in the silver market, we would talk about silver going up unbelievable amounts in an incredibly short period of time. But the smart silver stacker put out an really awesome graphic that talks about the factors that are leading up to a silver squeeze. He said, this is what we're dealing with right now, excuse me, as silver approaches $100 spot price, silver squeeze. Let me pull that up on the full screen. We'll run through these quickly. Direct pressure on the physical market. Shanghai silver price nears $100. That arbitrage that we talked about earlier. The U.S. Mint. Oh my gosh, I didn't even talk. We're going to talk about this later too. Apparently, Silver Eagles on the U.S. Mint site selling for $170. We'll dissect that and see if that's actually true, and talk about what the Chinese Mint is selling their silver pandas for as well. But nonetheless, that shows sign of stress in the market. They can't even adjust to this new price structure. The U.S. Mint, the CME Group. All right, we haven't talked a lot about this, but this is big. They're launching a $100 silver futures contract, and what they're trying to do is to get retail to buy more paper silver instead of buying real silver. We've got a looming macroeconomic storm with the Japanese carry trade and the Japanese soaring bond yields. And then, of course, right, guys, QE. I'll sum it up for you what he says here. Basically, money printing. Let's be real, okay? Let's be real. And we're gonna look at some paper money a little bit later as well. The new $100 bill, but there's no way out right now from the monetary and fiscal situation that the United States is in without essentially, whether you want to call it money printing, dilution of value of the dollar, whatever it is, the level of debt, the level of interest expense, the deficits that we continue to run are creating a debt spiral. And that will result in, again, whether you want to call it QE, money printing, dilution of the dollar, whatever the case may be, it's going to be a massive. Think about this. Put your thinking cap on and join me for a little mental exercise, if you will. Since 1971, when President Richard Nixon temporarily took us, right? I was 1 year old. I was pissed. My mom said I cried that whole day. Took us off the gold standard. The value of the dollar has gone down by 99% versus gold. Okay. But think about it. That was from 1971 through today, which is what? 55 years. I'm 55 years old, 54 years. Okay. That happened. That occurred. Okay. That loss in value in the dollar occurred during a period of time when we were accumulating the debt. We didn't have all that debt back then. It was all being accumulated. So think where we are now. Don't even think about the next 55 years. Think about the next 5 years, right? And think about that period of time from 1971 through now, where we basically, China was not a superpower. India was not a superpower. Okay. Russia was in the process of going down the tubes. They've come back. We are in a whole new, we're moving into a whole new geopolitical world, but we now have an unbelievable amount of debt. We were accumulating the debt during that period. I hope that makes sense, because that's a very powerful concept that will undoubtedly, in my opinion, continue to provide a solid tailwind support, however the heck you want to say it. Higher prices for silver and gold. Okay. What else do we have here? I have bad news for you. And yes, for those of you who are just joining, we will take the blindfold off the silver bear, Smitty, because silver did close above $85 in the spot market on Friday. But I got some bad news for you that actually is going to turn into good news. We aren't in a bull market for silver, and I'll show you why right now. Our friend Rashad, who I think is maybe one of the more underappreciated analysts out there in the precious metals world, said it himself. Rashad, what are you saying? In yellow. He says that, hold on here. Yep, here we go. Most of the investors do not realize that silver is not in a bull run. Oh, no, right? We haven't seen a squeeze. We're not in a bull run. No, it is in a price reset. That is absolutely true. I absolutely agree with him. And I wonder how you feel about that. Classic analysis and approach won't work here. We are in a completely new reality. And that, my friends, is the fact, because the price of silver, think about it, right? The price of silver and gold, but not to the extent that silver was. The price of silver was managed down for decades. It's been proven. Okay, we've got WikiLeaks documents that came out from when they created the paper futures markets. We've had people that spent their entire career, that guy Ted Butler, I think it is, proving that the silver price. We've got court cases where J.P. Morgan was convicted of manipulating the silver price. So what we're seeing now isn't a bull run. It's really just, at this point, I would say, and I'm curious what you think, still just the price getting to where it should be. And then when you look at all the other factors, the monetary, fiscal factors that we talked about, and the supply and demand factors, are you getting a warm, fuzzy feeling in your little silver heart? Because I am. That's what we're talking about. Okay. This isn't, it is a bull run, but what he's saying is so true. What we're seeing right now is just the recognition of the suppression that we all endured together. We went through the valley of despair for years and years. I've been following silver very closely for over 2 decades. A lot of you have as well. Some of you are new. Welcome. Okay. You're early, in my opinion. Okay. That's a super, super exciting fact that we want to like. Before I go any further, thank you, First Mining Gold, for sponsoring Ron's Basement. Okay, they're a gold development stage company with 2 huge projects in Canada. Millions and millions and millions of ounces of gold in the ground in Canada. They're working 2 projects, Spring Pole in Ontario and Du Parquet, located in Quebec, okay, through the development stage. It's exciting, it's catalyst rich, and there are not a lot of big projects like that in good jurisdictions. They have 2. They're in Canada. You can learn more about the company at firstmininggold.com. And please remember, I'm not a financial advisor. Do your own research, all that great stuff. But in full disclosure, it's a stock that I owned long before they sponsored Ron's Basement. I love the company, and the people there, I think, are absolutely top notch. So check them out, firstmininggold.com. Okay, what else is going on here? We got more. Okay, there's this big controversy in the silver community right now about the U.S. Mint selling Eagles for $170. We're going to get to that next. Before we do that, what's interesting, congratulations. Do you own any American Silver Eagles? Because if you do, here's one right here. I was able to find one, borrow one. Okay, if you own that, that is the new $100 bill. That paper money. There's a $100 bill. I had to borrow that from Upstairs Susie. By the way, Upstairs Susie, everybody please say hi to her. She is out with the kids, taking care of the kids. So I'm flying solo today, but I do see that I have the microphone on. And she did let me borrow one of her hundos. Okay. Let me think about this. Can you believe it? That the American, that upside down? Yep, it's upside down. Sorry. This is the new this. Okay. I went out and looked at SD Bullion, right? They always have great prices. They're known as being one of the best priced bullion dealers out there. In American Silver Eagles, it's at as low as like $101, right? That means you got to buy like 15 zillion of them and pay with cash. But it's not just them. It's all the bullion dealers are selling American Silver Eagles for $100. Now, there's this big controversy about the U.S. Mint. Let's dig into that and see if there's any meat there. And I'll tell you what I've learned about that situation, because apparently I didn't want to pull up anybody's particular post, because there's a lot of controversy out there about this right now. And here it is. Okay. This is from the U.S. Mint website. And as you can see, they've got 2025 Eagle proofs for $173. American Eagle 2024 1 ounce silver proofs for $173. Okay. And people are like, oh, the Mint selling Eagles for, well, those are proof coins. And proof coins, I'm not a coin collector. Good for you if you are. I'm not a numismatic or anything like that. I'm like a pure silver guy. I love but I'm not one who tries to buy coins that are going to be worth more or rare or whatever. But that's what these proofs are for, right? They're like a higher rated level of the coin, however you want to say it. But what's interesting is that they've got American Eagle 2024 1 ounce silver uncirculated coins that does not say proof, that just says uncirculated, and those are selling for $169 each. There's people out there that said they like ordered some of these, I don't know, like early last week, and then their orders got canceled, and then they were offered to be able to buy them for that amount. I don't know, but at minimum, it's very, very curious what's going on with the Mint and their pricing right now. The other thing I want to point out to you is if you look up here, also not available, not available, not available. Silver gone. Okay. But it's not just there, because then again, a guy who we have a ton of respect for, what's going on with China in their sovereign coins, the People's Bank of China. We got it. Yep. Okay. The People's Bank of China Panda, that's called the Silver Panda, which you pretty much can't get in the United States anymore. Silver coins are now selling at around $177 US per troy ounce equivalent. Now, this gets very interesting. They were selling at $129. And that's what people said about the U.S. Mint coins as well. Like they were selling at, I don't know, $99 or $89 just earlier last week. And then the prices got, pumped up a lot, let's say, to where what we just looked at. And that's the same case here with the People's Bank of China and the Panda coins. They're currently at $177 US equivalent. They were just at $129 on Friday. Okay, today's what, Saturday? But it gets more interesting in red, because these 30-gram Panda coins are bullion, not special editions or proof coins. And then he goes through the math and shows it out. And he's a very reliable source of information when it comes to silver in China. I skipped forward on us here. Hold on one second. You want to hear about $500 silver? Hold on, guys. Upstairs Susie is not here. We're having some tech issues. I hope you can see me and hear me still. Oh boy, things go off the rails when my old trusty companion Upstairs Susie, that's my wife, she did say, give everybody a high five. We are going to take the blindfold off Smitty, the silver bear, here in just a few seconds. Okay. But $500 an ounce silver possible within the next few months. I think he says a handful of months. This is one of the most respected by far analyst in the precious metal sector. I've been following this guy probably, I can say now, for decades. I'm getting old. We're all getting older, right? But I can tell you what's critical. And the reason why I always listen to him is because I remember listening to him many times where he would say, I think the price of silver is going to go down, or I think the price of gold is going to go down. And I was like, Michael, no, don't say that, right? You know what it was like, the valley of despair that has precious metals. Well, now he's talking about the possibility of $500 an ounce silver, and this is new, and we're going to listen to it right now, about a minute of what he has to say. Listen closely. Hold on. Here we go. I've got you on the right screen, and because we're going to start right here at the 15-minute, 56-second mark. Prior to this, he was talking about the previous rallies in silver. 2011 and I believe 2020 around the C19 crisis as well, and how they were rather short-lived and more spiky in nature. But then listen to what he says about what is happening right now. This is a treat for our ears.
Dynamically for a couple quarters. Okay. We've now blown out the old archival $44 to $50, $4 to $50 range that persisted for a half century. While most markets were well above that comparable range, by the way, copper, even lead. Gold never stopped at the 1980 high in 2011 and went way above it. Silver did, okay? And silver only just recently went through that box. Silver is stating to us in long-term momentum and its relative valuation levels that it's going to an entirely new reality. And I'm going to suggest the following. In the next handful of months, expect to see silver in the couple hundreds and quite possible 300 to 500. And also see those old spread relationships between silver and gold, 6.5% of the price of gold, 3.1% of the price of gold, to be challenged and possibly even taken out. You do the math on that. If gold were to merely replicate its old eightfold move and go to a high this year, let's say of 8,000 or something. I think it could go way past that, but let's just assume it does it again. Okay. Ho hum. What's 3% of 8,000? What's 6.5% of 8,000?
Okay. Did you hear what I heard? Okay. I took some notes. We are in a new reality for silver, a new reality for gold. In the next couple of months, handful of months, there's a possibility we could get to $300 to $500 silver price. But what he says that's even as exciting or more exciting about it all is the relationship between gold and silver. Silver being silver's percentage price of gold right now, which is maybe 2-3%, that could change, right? That relates to the gold to silver ratio. So buckle up, guys. We are in a new reality, and it's time for us, as part of this new reality, to take the blindfold off our old friend Smitty. I want to say thank you to you guys, okay? Smitty's not blindfolded if it's not for you, the community of people in silver and gold who have supported this channel. I think we have more than 70,000 subscribers right now. By the way, if you've not subscribed, please do so. But today's a big, big day. I never would have thought that we would be taking this off so soon. I kind of thought it was possible, but I didn't really think that it would be this soon. Okay, but I want to reiterate to you, right? I'm down here. We get to have all this fun. We get to do this today because of the community of people that are in silver and gold and the community of basement dwellers. Those of us who like to hang out down here in the basement and become friends and create a community that have made all of this possible. I also want to say special thank you, and I won't cry. I could cry right now, to upstairs Susie, my lovely wife. You guys know her. She's the walkie-talkie in the basement who's usually on. I'm not here without her. Best person, and we've been married over 20 years. Best person I've ever seen in my life. I got some great friends out there in the silver and gold YouTube community. Bald Guy Money, check him out. You guys probably already know him. Wonderful guy. I consider him a good friend. And I want to say thank you to him. And also Pound of Gold, the other channel where I'm great friends with. Chris Marcus from Arcadia Economics, somebody I have a great deal of respect for, and helped me on this journey as well. Of course, my sponsors, First Mining Gold, First Mint, okay, and companies that previously sponsored me. Pimbex, right? Still a great company, a great place to check out to buy gold and silver. And Fortuna Mining, great company, still a stock that I own. They supported me along on this journey as well. And I think that's it. So without further, there's a special surprise behind that blindfold, guys. This is Smitty the Silver Bear. And today he gets to see. Let me pull him up here for you so you can see him. All right, and I'm going to carefully pull off. Let's all count to 3 together, and I'll carefully pull off the blindfold. And there's a little surprise underneath. So on the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. Oh my gosh! Look at his eyes. Oh my gosh, I knew there was something special about it. Hold on, there he is. Look at his eyes. He's got 1/10 ounce silver Britannias. I actually bought those from Pimbex years ago. That are his eyes. I knew I was missing 2 of those. And now we know. Oh, and Susie warned me. She's not here. I need to take off his handcuffs too. Sorry, buddy. There you go. He's the only thing handcuffed down here in the basement, but he's been handcuffed down here in the basement for a long time. We're going to keep him around, right? Because he's a part of our community, a part of our show. And I think, right, I don't know, we'll have to figure out something else to blindfold, but maybe the next one will be $500 silver, because I know that I can be sitting down here someday in the future talking about $500 silver. I really appreciate you, each and every one of you. I want to say thank you for the super chats. Hold on here. Wow. Okay, number 1, Disco Laser. Yeah, Disco Laser. So glad I caught you live finally. Hey, thank you. Yeah, usually I do my shows earlier in the day. So thank you, Disco Laser, for that super chat. And, hold on. I won't be able to read this. Oh, yeah, I can. Richard Bolin, we are winning. Woohoo! Yes, guys, we are in a new reality when it comes to silver and gold. We are winning. We are doing very, very well. For those of you that own the mining stocks also, like I do, it's been a bit of a tough road, right? Certainly a tough road over the number of years, but we are absolutely winning. Thank you, Richard, for the super chat. Let me pull up this one as well. That one came from our friend Disco Laser. All right, guys, have a great Saturday. Thank you so much for being part of this community, right? We share this bond, that we have this deep, deep, deep admiration, respect for each other and for precious metals, okay? I'm going to look forward to seeing you. Yes, you, right? And remember, this is only possible because of you. I'll see you next time. Don't forget, too, if you want a fun, safe way to store things at your house, check out Dirty Man Safe and use discount code Ron10. And if you want to do something nice, there's a great charity that I love supporting called Hope Walks. Hope Walks. They help solve the problem of clubfoot for children all around the world. Number 1, most important, have a great night. Thank you. And yes, I will see you. Yes, you next time.